Thanks for joining me again this week. I was back in Annapolis this week testifying before the Ways and Means Committee on behalf of what I consider probably the most important bill in the state legislature as far as the county's concerned. House Bill 919 would put counties like ours on even ground with municipalities in Maryland by allowing us to create special taxing districts and to have different tax rates for different classes of property. What I tried to emphasize to the lawmakers is that this is an economic development issue that we've already seen work across the river in Northern Virginia. Developers and businesses continue to buy into this model and choose to leave lower taxed areas like Montgomery County for higher taxed areas like Fairfax and Tysons Corner. They leave because they see the way their tax money is used to build transportation infrastructure and to build a climate more conducive to business. They go there because the investment in transit infrastructure has obvious benefits for businesses. The most substantial being that it enables them to build critical infrastructure that creates a more business-friendly environment, and because it delivers projects that are in their master plans in a timely manner. That is something we can't do in Montgomery County, simply because we don't have this tool. This proposal is considered an enabling legislation that will have to go through a process at the local level. That means the County Council. It is also an effort that is supported by the Maryland Association of Counties, which means most counties, including Republican counties, that have analyzed the plan and agree they could use this kind of tool as a revenue source. Our state's growth is linked to investments in transportation, and it's painfully clear after learning of the $3 billion shortfall in state transportation funds late last year that Maryland needs a better way to go forward. The collapse of the state's infrastructure fund cannot be allowed to lead to paralyzing the construction of transportation infrastructure. Tysons Corner was transformed by these investments as well as other areas in Northern Virginia. People tell me they worry about enacting special taxing districts because they might cause development to go to Northern Virginia. The reality is that companies are already making that choice to go to Northern Virginia because their tax system creates valuable infrastructure that benefits their investments. If you go to Tysons Corner today to develop, the taxes on commercial property are almost 50% higher than ours. So if the taxes were the issue, we should be winning. I'm asking for a favorable report out of the committee for House Bill 919 and support from a majority of state legislatures to enable special taxing districts for counties in this session. March marks the 4th year since our nation began dealing with the widespread impacts of the COVID-19 virus. The emergency phase of the pandemic ended last year, but it's still being felt in our schools. Our communities struggle with hunger issues and other aspects of community need. Last week when I met with former County Executive Mike Leggett, he thanked me for the county's work through the pandemic. It was a struggle, but I know our work saved lives. You can see it in the results. The virus peaked in December 2021, with a weekly average of nearly 800,000 cases nationwide. With the introduction of the first vaccine came a slow but significant drop in cases. Getting the word out about the benefits of the vaccine brought together many different community groups across the county to learn, share, and spread life-saving information. It was from those partnerships and the commitment to the greater good that we developed some of the networks that are still helping people today. Maryland has seen more than 17,000 COVID-19 deaths. Despite having the largest population of any county in Maryland, the rate of COVID-19 deaths per person in Montgomery County was just under 1%. That is among the lowest in the state and below the national average of just over 1%. I'm proud that Montgomery County had one of the highest percentages of vaccination compliance in the nation early on when we achieved 90%. That helped us slow the spread of the disease and keep our mortality total relatively low. I'm proud of the work we did in the county to keep COVID-19 from killing more people, and I want to stress how important it is now to continue to protect yourself and your families. Vaccines for COVID-19 and the flu are still recommended. A COVID-19 vaccine can prevent serious complications from the virus and keep you out of the hospital. Sunday marks the start of National Consumer Protection Week. Recently, Montgomery County's Office of Consumer Protection put out a new warning about impersonation scams. That's in response to an increase in victims over the past year, according to the Federal Trade Commission. Impersonation scams involve phone calls and messages from individuals posing as representatives of legitimate businesses or organizations with the intention of obtaining personal information or money through deceptive tactics. Don't blindly trust caller ID information on your phone because it can be faked. To protect yourself from impersonation scams, it's important to remain vigilant and safeguard your personal information and finances. Don't engage with unsolicited callers demanding money or key personal information, like your social security number or a bank account number. Watch out for emails, texts, and social media messages from unfamiliar numbers with links to click on. Also, be wary when asked to pay anyone by wire transfer, cryptocurrency, or gift cards. If you've been the victim of an impersonation scam, contact the OCP by email at consumerprotection@montgomerycountymd.gov or call 240-777-0311. I want to remind all book lovers that we will be celebrating Read Across America Week in our local libraries. This weekend alone, there are 3 events to share in White Oak, Wheaton, and Gaithersburg. At each of these events, our librarians will be partnering with the Jewish Council for the Aging to highlight the importance of one-on-one reading with young children. For more than 30 years, JCA's Heyman Interages Center has been bringing seniors and youth together to discuss issues, solve problems, and build relationships. Programs begin at 1 p.m. at White Oak Library, 3 p.m. at Wheaton Library on Saturday, March 2nd. On Sunday, the program begins at 1 p.m. at the Gaithersburg Library. Hope you're able to participate or learn more about the effort by visiting accessjca.org/interages. I also want to take a moment to recognize the Department of General Services and Department of Recreation on a wonderful grand opening for the Silver Spring Recreation and Aquatic Center last weekend. This is the first county recreation center in downtown Silver Spring. Building this facility was challenging, but worth the struggle now that it is open and serving so many people daily. Resources have not only been distributed equally across Montgomery County. When I was on the council, I saw how former County Executive Ike Leggett prioritized the renovation of recreation centers in the historically black communities that have been historically overlooked and had seen their aging and dilapidated centers allowed to rot, while new recreation centers were built elsewhere in the county. This new addition is part of an overall effort with the recently opened Leggett Senior Housing Building and the Holy Cross Health Center next door to provide many people with direct access to state-of-the-art health services. This is a crown jewel facility for our entire area. I hope it drives more interest in our county's wonderful spring and summer rec programs now that we have the added capacity to serve more residents. So that's a wrap for today. Hope you have a great week, and I will be back again next week.